you do if your ancestors told you to come out and play? He says that he always loved traveling. He loved seeing his family in Puerto Rico, and he loved seeing his family in Dominican Republic. The only thing he didn't like when he went to Dominican Republic was that his grandmother would not let him leave the house after 10 o'clock. He said, why? You know, everyone's out, everyone's partying. Why can't I leave the house after 10 o'clock? And she used to tell him, no, you're not supposed to leave the house after 10 o'clock, not on our lands. That's not a good idea. Like any rebellious 18-year-old, he went out. Not want me to share what part of the country of the Dominican Republic he's from, but he did say that I could share that he's from the northwest side. Juan says that his grandmother's house was big as 2 baseball fields. However, her house did not sit in the middle of the land. Her house sat more closer to the gate that led to the street. So he's at approximately about 15 feet. As Juan was in the countryside, he said that he needed a motorcycle to be able to leave to the city. Now, he said that what he did was he asked one of his cousins that he was supposed to borrow one of the motorcycles. So Juan dragged the motorcycle from behind the house all the way until he got to the gate. When he got to the gate, that's when he his cousin to flash his light, letting him know it was time to go. He made it to the road, and he was far enough from the house. He turned on the motorcycle, and they were gone. When they got to the party that they wanted to go to, Juan told Robert, listen, I don't want to stay here too long. I want to get back home by 1 o'clock because I don't want her to realize I'm not there. And Robert turns over to Juan and says, you're going to go back to grandma's house at 1 o'clock in the morning. Why don't you just wait for daybreak? And he's like, because what happens if she gets up in the middle of the night and she doesn't see me in my room? He says, what happens if one of the ancestors finds you before she does? He says, what? What ancestors? He's like, didn't grandma tell you? He's like, what? What did she tell me? Only thing she told me that I'm not allowed out the house after 10 o'clock because of the ancestors. And he's like, yeah, the lands are haunted. Robert, I thought she only said that because she didn't want me to leave the house. Was she serious? Do you really believe her? Robert, you guys are really superstitious, huh? Just because I sneak out doesn't mean I don't respect the land. I have respected enough to know I can't come back till daybreak. Says to Robert, okay, well, you don't have to go back with me if you don't want to. That's fine. You can stay here. But I need to go back. I don't want her to find out that I left and disrespected her. Takes a deep breath and says to Juan, listen, okay, well, let me give you the warnings then. I warned you. If it calls you, ignore it. Rule number 2, if it looks like me, it's not me. Rule number 3, if it shapeshifts, run. I was like, all right, cool, fine. You don't got to be all extra. He had a blast at this party. He also met a girl that was really pretty and he got her number. So he's like looking at the time. He's like, oh, that when he finally got to his grandmother's street, he turned off the motorcycle. He was dragging it across the dirt road and he kind of saw somebody off in the distance. Of course, he got a little scared because it was connected to his grandmother's land, but he tried to dismiss himself internally. It's just a person just hanging out there doing their own thing. As long as I ignore that person, they'll ignore me. Using the gate that he first used because the person was standing there, he used the side gate to get to his grandmother's house. Now, that was a little further from the house, but he took the risk because he didn't want to bump into that person. I'm going to try to translate what he said he heard as he was crossing the gate. Say it in English, and then I'm going to say it in Spanish. And goes, Juan, come over here, Juan. I know you hear me, Juan. Juan, ven aquí, Juan. Yo sé que tú me escuchas, Juan. That he forgot about the motorcycle, started running for the back of the house. He's running towards the house. He's shaking, trying to find the house keys, and he can't find them because he's shaking so bad. But he can hear the voice getting closer and closer behind him. He decided he's not going to make it to that door and find that key on time. So he just ran to the nearest tree. He got to the tree, he looked back where the light pole was at, and he didn't see anybody. He scans the field, and he doesn't see anyone. He looks towards the house, and he doesn't see anyone. So he's like, okay, that was just my imagination. I'm just overthinking it. Maybe it's anxiety. Maybe what I heard is not what I really heard. Let me just try to find these house keys and get into this house. And when he looked down to grab his keys, he saw a pair of feet behind him. And when he stood up straight, all it said was, wow. He felt his soul just drop.